What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the first edition of the Eagle Breakdown. Tonight we'll be doing a season preview schedule breakdown of the North Texas football season, going into year 7 of Seth Luttrell era, the last season before the North Texas makes the big jump to the American. I think it's a big season, and we know it's getting close. Harry's posted the timer of the first game, so when you start seeing timers and stuff, it's the season's getting close. So without further ado, we can start breaking down the schedule. Before we get started, be sure and hit the like, hit the subscribe button. It helps us grow, and like I said, hopefully we can keep putting out content for you guys. We start on a road game to start the season off, going to El Paso. UTEP is a team that has played, Seth tough since the day he arrived. It's a Saturday night game. UTEP is really pushing to sell out opening night. It's going to be a great crowd. I really think that the running game is going to continue what they built last year. Another year of the Phil Bennett defense. I've got this marked down as the first W. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a tight game. But I definitely think it is winnable. I don't think it will be a blowout by either team, either way. But I really got a good feeling that Seth and them will have the team rolling, and that will be a W to start the season. Game number 2 is going to be a little different story. SMU is kind of building a little monster down there in Dallas. As much as I hate to say it, they're a rival. They're really building something, and they've built it through, started out with the Power 5 transfers, and now they're kind of building through the high school ranks. I really thought when Sonny Dykes left that train might slow down a bit. Rhett Lashley's kind of came in, and they've kept the thing going. So, UNT played them close last year. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like it's been in years past. I think it'll be a good game. But if I take my mean green, glasses off, I think it's going to be tough to get the W against one of your future conference mates. So I've got this down as a loss. Puts us at 1-1. But like I said, I think it will be close. I think that it won't be like years past, but SMU's looking pretty stout right now. Next, we got the Johnny Jones Bowl. Texas Southern coming to town. Not much to say about this. They were, I think, 3-8, 3-9 last year. So I've got this. This is, I think, will be a pretty easy W. Might see some garbage time. See some guys come in and get some reps. But I think that UNT moves to 3-1 after this game. UNLV. I think this is going to be, if you're going to pick a road trip this year, this is probably one of the ones to go to. I think UNLV's playing in the new Raiders Stadium. Vegas is always a fun road trip. They're coming off a 2-10 year, but I think that they'll be improved. I don't think it's going to be just a, North Texas walk in there and kill them. But at the same time, I think that if you pick one road trip, pick one game to go to, probably the one I'd pick. But I think that North Texas goes to Vegas, and as long as kids don't get go in the casinos, partying too hard in Vegas, let the Sin City get the best of them, I think that North Texas will move to 3-1 after this game. Next up is Memphis, another future American Conference mate. Memphis kind of struggled last year. They kind of had up and down year. They lost to UTSA. That's the game that really sticks out to me. But Memphis will be tough. I mean, they're a big physical team. I think they're going to be a little bitter that they were one of the teams that didn't get to, I guess, move up from the American. So I think it will be it's going to be a tough game. It's a tough atmosphere. I think Memphis their fans seem like they always pack a pretty good crowd. And it'll be interesting, but I've got, like I said, take the mean green glasses off for a second. I think Memphis probably gets the W. Like I said, hopefully tough fought game, physical game, but I mean, at this point you're 4-2, and I mean you're setting pretty to make another bowl game. You're still looking good in conference play. Everything's still on the table. Next up is Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic coming to Denton. We've had some success in the past. Going to Florida has been a little different, but Willie Taggart's put together a unbelievable staff there at Florida Atlantic. He's brought in a ton of transfers too, so I mean they're going to be a much improved team. But like I said, I think them coming to Denton plays in our favor, and I've got this down as another win. I think we moved to 5-2, 2-0 in conference, and I think that's really gonna set you up for a potentially good, exciting year. So yeah, 5-2. Next, you got La Tech coming to town. It's always a tough team, whether we go to Ruston, whether they come here. New coach, I think I'm hoping that plays in our favor this year. Skip Holtz is no longer there. I think Skip Holtz is one of the better coaches in definitely Conference USA. I think all of college football. Losing him to Sonny Cumbie, I think Sonny Cumbie's done a really good job recruiting. They brought in a lot of guys, but still, it's a first-year head coach, and we've seen in past, those. It takes a couple, weeks, even a whole year to get the program, rolling. So I mean, might have some Indian glasses here, but I've got another W here for the good guys. So, by my calculation, that moves us to 5-2. Next up is probably the biggest rivalry game. It's kind of become the biggest rivalry game, UTSA. I mean, Jeff Traylor's got the program rolling. As big a rivalry as they are, and as hard as that is for me to say, but being a East Texas guy, I mean, every week they're not playing North Texas. I do pull for Jeff Traylor a little bit, but I'm not going to say last year was a fluke when we beat them, but we did have a lot of stuff playing in our favor. But going to San Antonio, going to the Alamo Dome, that's always been a tough game. I think that UNT will probably get going off. I think they'll get their first conference loss. I think it will be a close, tough game. I don't think that we get blown out, but going to the Alamo Dome and winning. And UTSA has a really hard schedule, so I think they're going to be scratching and clawing at this point. So like I said, it's going to be a tough game, but I think that it'll be hard to pull out a W there. So I think I'm going to go with the loss there. This is part of the schedule where it's back-to-back road games, and you're going against the two teams that squared off in the Conference USA Championship last year. Western Kentucky, they lost a lot of guys. They lost Bailey Zappi, lost their offensive coordinator, but they're bringing in some other good guys. They've got Jarrett Doege. He was the guy that came and visited North Texas. I think North Texas thought they had a pretty good chance of landing him. That would have been a pretty good veteran quarterback. I think he might have maybe a little less competition in Western Kentucky. I mean, and also, like I said, Bailey Zappi set pretty much virtually every passing record in NCAA football. So it's got to be good to be able to look at that kind of program and say, hey, I would like to go try to set some records myself. So it was a tough recruiting loss, but I think it will be a tough game. I think, like I said, back-to-back road games against the Eastern and Western Conference champions last year. I think you go back-to-back losses here is what I'm feeling as far as the North Texas season going. It's not the end-all be-all. You're sitting at 5-4. 2 losses in conference back-to-back does hurt, but I don't think you're eliminated by any means. I think the next week, FIU will come to town, come to Denton. We seen last year there's just a pretty big talent gap in between North Texas and FIU. I think that new coaching staff, they brought in a ton of transfers, brought some players back, won some recruiting battles. FIU will be improved, but I think that North Texas changes around, gets back on the winning ways, and they move to 6-4 at this point. Grab the win against FIU. Next game on the schedule is UAB. UAB has been a powerhouse in Conference USA. It seems like the whole Seth Luttrell era, but this is the first season North Texas will face UAB without a Bill Clark. Bill Clark built a monster. I think he was a great coach. It's hard to argue that he's not the best coach in Conference USA the last decade. So it'll be interesting to see what the post-UAB Bill Clark era will be like. I like North Texas' chances. I feel like we've always played close in Birmingham. Yeah, back from the Mason Fine era, even post Mason Fine, it seems like we always step up and play UAB tight. So um, I think we're going to pull out the upset here. Upset, some people may not have it as upset, but I think they get the W in Birmingham, move to 7-4, and it sets you up for a last game. Get to come back home and play Rice at Apogee, and Rice is a team that plays us tough every year. It's a close game. It's a dogfight. But really feeling confident. I think that Seth and them pull out the W to end up the year. I think it's Thanksgiving weekend, November 26th, that Saturday. Usually the weather's not the best, but I've got us finishing up the year 8-4, going to a bowl game, and ending the Conference USA. I don't know if 8-4 will get you to a conference championship game, but you definitely get a bowl game and end up the Conference USA Seth Luttrell era on a winning record, and it will be a good way to head to the American. If you agree, disagree, leave some comments. We'll have some discussion. Be on the lookout for some more breakdown videos. We're going to be doing positional breakdown, trying to break down the groups. That will be coming in the next few days. And like I said, if you got any more videos you want to see or video ideas, be sure to leave them in the comments, and we'll be sure to get to them. Go Mean Green.